since I'm still quite fashionable at some form or another, but either way though, since we're still in the actual safari of the actual Lost Kingdom, this means I'm still pretty much sweating as it goes by. I'm guessing it's probably because of the temperature system, you know, kinda like how it did on Zelda Breath of the Wild almost. Hey, what's up ladies and gentlemen, I am Mario here once again, and I'm back for some more yet again for the likes of the Murksy Toys videos. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more Let's Play of Super Mario Odyssey for the Nintendo Switch, specifically in Luigi's Blue World. So, last time we have managed to able to do with Luigi's Blue World in the Lake Kingdom, despite we haven't got that much of the amount of coins we can get. But, apart from those side of things though, we did a pretty decent run at best. So today, for this episode, is the fact that we are still carry on doing with, you know, Luigi's Blue World once again. But except this time around, we're probably going to be doing with probably my favorite when it comes to the actual kingdoms on the forms of Luigi's Blue World. And as it appears to be, as you can clearly see on screen, we are about to be on to the Lost Kingdom, because as a result, out of all the actual Luigi's Blue World's kingdoms, as far as trying to explore onto that specific stuff, this is overall one of my favorites, because even then, I just seriously can't stress that enough about the fact that in certain balloons, well, for one thing, is the fact that this particular kingdom is obviously pretty small, and second, is that most of these other opponents, well, some of the exceptions, but, specifically some of them, like for instance, for example, if I was gonna show you, no, not that one, let's go for this balloon right here, and I think that could be also same applies for certain other balloons even though as well, for most other people, is the fact that they always manage to seem to able to go to the exactly the same spots, like myself included, because, well, there are plentiful ways you can able to actually get inside with the actual, you know, with the actual campfire section, you know, when you're trying to find Captain Toad and all that stuff. Well, I would say this is by far as one of the more simple when it comes to the forms of finding the actual balloons themselves, because they're usually in the different spots in the actual cavern, but most of the time though, they're always located on the exact same location as from the forms of how it does on most other balloons out there. So anyways, let's do this one here, and I think this one might actually be the shortest of the bunch, so I think we should probably go ahead and destroy that brick, and we can roll into it, and then we can get ourselves some more coins in the process. And I'm hoping anyway though, sorry for a little bit of a belching anyway though, we're really hoping that we can get even more coins in addition to reaching onto, the exactly the same amount of maximum amount of coins as possible, specifically 9,999 coins as possible. But if we do that, however, though, then we can able to, hopefully we might as well able to purchase some more stuff along the way. So even then though, including the forms of the final main costume, aside from the final special costume, which we're about to be shown off at some form or another, but not now though, because even then though, we still got a whole ways to go. But anywho though, because yeah, apart from those side of things though, is the fact that we're now in the halfway point when it comes to Luigi's Blue World, of course. So even then though, we're actually getting pretty much close towards the end when it comes to the forms of Luigi's Blue World mode itself, to able to show off all the kingdoms throughout, and then eventually we can able to, you know, show off the final thing, which we're probably not gonna mention about this again because it's been repeated itself over and over and over again. So I promise you guys I'm not gonna say something about it again. So even then though, let's just go ahead and go through this particular balloon here. So hopefully it should be relatively simple, especially noticeable how the fact that it's always going to be, usually takes us in that specific section over there. And let's grab the Cat Mario pixel, so that way we can get even more coins as a result to, you know, just trying to add in more timer to the table. So yeah, you probably get the idea for that. Now, I suppose that, another thing I'd like to talk about this, and I've totally forgotten to mention about this ever since on Wednesday, actually, and same applies to when, Piglet has now recently finished up with his Let's Play of Toy Story 2 recently yesterday, because if you couldn't tell already, today's day is the forms of, the 6th of December today, and in this case, we've only got about, I would say, 19 days to go until Christmas time, so even then, we're actually getting really, really close, likely to the forms of that specific special day. So even then though, things are getting a little bit more relative and all that stuff. So anywho, about those side of things though, there is something news happening when it comes to Mario Kart Tour ever since about 2 days ago, and recently I managed to able to play it for a bit, and it appears to be by the forms of the London Tour on Mario Kart Tour. So naturally speaking, this might actually be technically speaking the second time that Mario and the gang managed to able to go around in the actual London itself, or as in Toadette's case, it will be her first time, first time experiencing the actual London itself for Toadette as a result. In addition with other characters here and there as well, stuff like Metal Mario, the baby counterparts of Mario, Luigi, Peach, Daisy, and Rosalina. And I think that's pretty much about it when it comes to that though. Oh yeah, and same applies for Diddy Kong as well, and also same applies for well, such an amount of characters and all that stuff. So yeah, because why I'm truly saying that, because even then, generally speaking, is that Mario did manage to able to, or myself I should say, now we've already been into London ever since during the forms of, well, let's just say in that game called Mario and Sonic at the London 2012 Olympic Games and all that stuff, so yeah, you probably get the idea what I'm talking about right here. But I'm not going to mention about too much specific details onto this, sadly, though, because I'll let Sonic and Sylvester were able to mention more on that, and during the forms of this weekend, actually, about the fact that those two are going to eventually trying to end off the actual Let's Play of Mario Kart 8, and why I'm having a hard time trying to deal with that particular shortcut right there. Although, I was going to able to actually just to well, utilize with the actual Tropical Wiggler, but sometimes my tricks and all that stuff doesn't seem to work half the time, so, because again, if you get bang onto the wall and stuff like that, you are basically guaranteed you're gonna get yourself screwed over, so, not much else to ask for. So anyways, let's go ahead and just grab onto the pole, and grab ourselves, of course, the next power, what, I keep on saying Power Moons, I keep on thinking about the actual main game, I'm thinking of the actual balloons themselves. Oh jeez, I know it's been such a long while since I actually managed to able to do some commentaries and all that stuff, because something will bad happening in during the forms at the end of the year. Well, to be more specifically, the beginning of 2020, but I really don't know if they actually try to affect my channel or something like that, but what I've read on the actual Gmail account about the fact that we did manage to discover that for that made for kids kind of syndrome, and as a result it makes me feel a little bit worried at points, because we were expecting to deal with the entirety of the Let's Plays of, the Metroid series in the future before Metroid Prime 4 will come out, and especially noticeable with the Donkey Kong Country series and all that stuff, because we've already done the first game in the series, which is of course the original Donkey Kong Country, and then eventually until next year we'll do Donkey Kong Country 2, and vice versa though really. And also we're about to be expecting to able to deal with Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix at some point after when Sonic rather, expecting to be finishing that particular Let's Play and doing at some form or another. Oh, I just realized it's actually in another way, isn't it? I guess we'll have to see what happens there. Oh, shoot. No! Okay, at least I'll take a hit. I'll take a hit as far as I'm like to just be average on that. And it's gonna be, yep, I know it. It's gonna be right down over there. Oh, I almost felt nerve-wracked at first because, well, I almost assumed it's gonna be on the exactly same place as from before. But turns out it was actually on a different placement this time around. So, I guess that makes it obvious. So... oh yeah, speaking of the London tour actually, when it comes to Mario Kart Tour, they actually did manage to bring us into the forms of the next two new characters, or to be more specifically, the next alternate costumes between Daisy and Waluigi. Well, I say that because, well, usually relatively speaking, I haven't really heard anything about it yet, but oh no, looks like I haven't got high enough. Nope, I wasn't high enough. Ah, that's pretty dumb. I could have tried able to actually utilize the actual, the glider thing right there, like how we did in, Sand Kingdom as well as, the Wooded Kingdom. I'd like to able to use him here, but unfortunately though, things didn't turn out to be, I suppose. Now I guess we should probably go for this next balloon right there, so that way we can able to utilize the actual dynamite looking enemies as you can see right there, assuming if you're trying to toss Cappy over towards that cage over there, and that was a very, very bad timing right there. Because sometimes though, you never know what's gonna come, but until right now actually, not only does it bust out of the cage, but also pops the balloon at the same time. So yeah, it's pretty cool though. Especially because if I was gonna able to actually go after more coins for the sake of time, then, well, this will be the actual balloon for you. Well, despite the amount of rewards of coins you can get, but anywho, what's next? No matter what though, I'm probably not gonna do this one because it may look like it's gonna be, oh, I don't know, pretty tough I suppose, but, we'll just give, again, so many possibilities of selections as you can say. But then again though, as I mentioned this before, I'll let Sonic and Sylvester will talk more about, you know, the most recent tour, which is the London tour for Mario Kart Tour so far. So, at least even then, I'll let those two manage to carry on discussing on that. So, because, you know, they're going to be concluding the actual Let's Play of Mario Kart 8 / Mario Kart 8 Deluxe during at some point this weekend. So, relatively speaking, when that's been done, it's all down to those two Let's Plays at the moment, including the final redo Let's Play at some point in 19th of December. So, but who knows what game is it going to be? We'll never know and we'll find out during that some form or another. So, and I guess that one of those balloons is going to be right inside of these blocks here. So, because I figure I say that because, well, as soon as we roll right into the actual blocks, well, basically, that's how we get ourselves the next balloon. But yeah, you know, you get the idea for that point. So even then, though, we're actually getting pretty much surprised enough about the fact that although we come across into our long run where it comes to likely, hopefully trying to predict where it comes to likely finishing up with those entire Let's Plays in that particular year. But some form or another, especially noticeable with the absence of some of these uploading schedules in the first week or so, where it comes to August in mind, it doesn't go well that much though, just because of, well, specifically graphical glitches on capture cards sometimes, and also same applies to my phone storage, which I was going to be supposed to be doing some more 3DS Let's Plays and all that stuff. We have not done a single 3DS Let's Play ever since in Mario Kart 7, which is about a year ago right now. And surprisingly enough, though, is the fact that we didn't do a single 3DS. Although, generally speaking, when it comes to the very beginning of this year so far, the only last time we've ever done the 3DS capturing recordings, it was the forms of the new Super Mario Bros. 2 Coin Rush DLC mode and all that stuff, or including the actual the Coin Rush mode to tackle through. So even then though, oh yeah, because of how the fact of the celebrations release for new Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, despite it was actually a port of the Wii U game that has been out for a very long time. But you know, you might be wondering about the fact that when we'll get ourselves the 3D Super Mario 3D World kind of port. Well, I'm really hoping that'll be true though, because I can able to play on the go. Although I probably won't do a Let's Play of that game when that usually was a thing on the Switch, because otherwise that we basically already done that Let's Play since during forms of 2017 and stuff like that, probably due to the celebration to, you know, this game's release for Super Mario Odyssey and stuff like that. So, but you know, you probably get the idea for that solution here. So anyway, let's go ahead and go over here. Be very careful around here, because otherwise, well, if you touch the actual poison water, then you obviously instantly die. So, just watch out for that. Especially you really don't like losing all that coins if you really want to spend on something, such as, you know, new costumes and all that. So, but you know, let's not make that happen. So, and as far as I've noticed, is that the actual aesthetics about this particular kingdom is relatively unchanged in comparison to the forms of how it does it on the previous kingdoms that we've already done. Well, until when we get to the point, oh, really now, it is literally like 4 seconds to able to find that balloon. It is really impossible, though. Sorry for a little bit of a brutal, well, I would say a brutal, harsh moment, just because, well, I don't know what it is, though. It's just that I just felt a little bit, stressed out at points. Well, not necessarily when it comes to gaming in general, but it's just that for particularly something else. But I'm not going to mention about it too much though, because that way it just feels like well, the actual December month that we're still in, and it looks like we're getting pretty close to the point where the copper thing will actually get involved with, and, well, I just felt a little bit panicked all of a sudden. But hopefully though, until around that time, until Monday, that I can simply get back into this, hopefully I should be a little bit more cheerful than the likes of how it does it from today's video as it goes by, so... Anyways, so let's go ahead and just go for this next balloon right here, so hopefully we can able to find one of these. I'm not sure if the heart will help me though, but I guess that makes it clearly obvious. Well, despite the amount of slow movements that we've done, and yet again, I just felt a little bit clumsy for this point because of, well, I was expecting to be safe, but still, it doesn't seem to able to offer me that much. But anyway though, let's try that again, and if I do fail again, then I'll try a different balloon, so... But you know, you get the drill for this point. Yeah, I get a strong feeling it's gonna be somewhat down there, or maybe it's somewhere else. I'm not 100% sure because, well, I just don't know where some of these placements are. Well, at least I know some of them, but not all of them, mind you, because some other times though, they always seem to know, they always hide in certain places and all that stuff, you know? Now, I guess I'll probably do this particular balloon right now, especially noticeable how the fact that this is now a different user as opposed to the exact same user as we generally have already done this part right here, so even then once again we'll use Cappy to, you know, just trying to able to get caught by the actual dynamite bomb, and, you know, we'll get the balloon in the process. But, you know, you get the drill for that part, so even then, why do I always keep on saying you get the drill for this point right there? Because I know for the fact that it's a little bit, odd, per se, to able to actually just keep on saying that word, specifically. But, hey, at least that's all I can really talk about for this point in time, folks. Especially when, you know, not much else announcements, aside from, you know, I've already mentioned about, you know, the brief new update where it comes to Super Mario Maker 2 and all that stuff, which did recently came out during yesterday. Although, I was originally trying to able to mentioning about that specific stuff on Super Mario Maker 2 version 2.0, that's what the actual update itself is actually called. I was gonna able to mention about the forms of my first impression of that specific version update, but unfortunately though, I don't think we got enough time for it though, sadly, just because, well, then again, I'll let Sonic and Sylvester will talk more about it until whenever they get onto, I should probably point things out, is it will be the final two parts of the actual Let's Play of Mario Kart 8, / Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for that part. But, you know, that's as far as we can able to noticing that. So, anyways, let's go ahead and find the next balloon right from, I would say it's exactly the same place as in the forms of any other moon so far. Well, hopefully we don't get a sense of confusion and all that stuff. Well, but still, hopefully that will be the case around here. Let's just use Tropical Wiggler, and sure enough, it's the exact same placement as before. Well, in a different section, but as far as placement goes, is usually kind of different than the likes of how it does it on specifically my balloon, as well as someone else's balloons in general too. Yeah, let's do Tigger. Okay, that sounds like a weird, complimentable for that specific name right here. And I get a strong feeling that it might not likely gonna be possible to get there, so... Because I get a strong feeling it's going to be inside of one of those trees, if I'm guessing it correctly, so... I think I thought so anyway, because, you know in the Tigger movie from the, you know, the 2000 film, which I can't even believe, that film has almost been out into any forms of 20 years at this point. Well, usually, relatively speaking, when it comes to likely Tarzan and Toy Story 2, those films have already came out during it, about 2 decades ago at this point. What?! I was gonna able to get that. Oh, that's totally my fault. Oh, I was literally so close. I was expecting to able to get that balloon over there, but I didn't seem to toss the actual Cappy in the right amount of time. So we'll try that again. And hopefully we can able to success for this. So there we go. That's more like it. Able to actually just trying to accomplish that without losing a single combo with that specific streak or something like that. I think we'll probably do 2 more as it is. So let's go for this one. To see how this one actually plays out. And fundamentally though, I get a strong feeling it's gonna be at, I think it's gonna be in the exact same placement, isn't it? Although I could appreciate if I was gonna do that specific shortcut I like to take, but I'm probably not gonna risk it too much, especially I really refuse to able to lose some of my coins if you couldn't tell. So anyway, and it's gonna be right over there, just onto that specific camping site. So, there we go. At least we did manage to gather some more coins as it is. And hopefully we should able to hopefully get some more for this point. And I think we might as well do one more. Let's just say a little bit of one more kind of balloon to able to actually find around here. I do apologize with the actual commentary. It's got a little bit bored for this point, just because even though we're doing exactly the same deal from here, but it's just I just want to show you guys so many different visual styles if we manage to go into the different balloon worlds and all that stuff. So yeah, let's do one more, and then we're able to actually end off the Lost Kingdom when it comes to Luigi's Balloon World. So there we go. It's actually pretty easy to able to get there, ironically. But as far as everything else though, despite with the amount of deaths and all that stuff, and even trial and error as a result for that specific, you know what that specific shortcut I was on about? Well, I was thought to myself about the fact that sometimes my movement is a little bit, well, slippy and some stuff. Actually, no matter what though, let's do one more, because I just really want to get up to the maximum amount of coins I need to get for this point. Specifically, I would say this is more likely the same user as far as from before, but because the reason why I'm doing this is because I definitely need to max out my coins count up to, you know, 99,999 coins as it goes by. So, but anyways, I think we are basically done for now when it comes to the Lost Kingdom's Luigi's Balloon World for this point. So hopefully we should able to max out our coins count. So speaking of such, we have managed to accomplish that. So even then though, we managed to able to done it. So, well, we did already hide it though. So even then though, that's obviously the actual good thing about it. So anyways, let's go ahead and transport us back to the actual highest mountain of all by trying to able to actually just to get onto that specific stuff, because we like to buy something from here. Like the usual stuff, we'll buy the actual power moons themselves, and also some occasional costumes that we like to show off, especially by the forms of it in between episode by episode by episode kind of scenario. Although I want to point things out, I was originally trying to able to show you guys all of the costumes throughout the game, but because we haven't bought that much in terms of special costumes, as you can clearly see, I don't know if we can able to actually show the rest of them. So, for now on anyway, let's just go ahead and purchase one of those, the Brutal's suits. So even then though, because after we did manage to demolish them after the actual fireworks and all that stuff, even by the forms of trying to fight those four, the Brutals twice for specifically the Bowser's Kingdom as well as one in the Dark Side. This means we can now heavily borrow those into new forms of the later portion. So, yeah, it seems pretty relevant, especially because, although, then again, I was going to able to actually go after the skeleton suit I like to get, but then again, I'll save that for the later time though, because not now though, because, well, we still got a whole ways to go with Luigi's Balloon World as a result, so we can at least expect that. So now we got about 950 of those power moons, and I think the amount of total we need left is 49 left, so just want to make sure of how much kingdoms we actually got left. So relatively speaking, we'll get 10 more in Metro Kingdom, and we'll get 10 more for the Snow Kingdom, and also same applies for the rest of other kingdoms even though as well. Well, apart from one particular kingdom, but I'll save that until whenever we get to the very end when it comes to Luigi's Balloon World. So, however though, there won't be any replays or anything like that for specifically getting back into the kingdoms again, because I'm actually going to do those on my own time. So that way, in my own file, or in this case my first file I've managed to able to first time playing it, then I can able to actually just to do this off screen, and then hopefully I can farm some more coins during new forms of Luigi's Balloon World on my own time. So, But you know, you get the idea for that. So, anyways, let's go ahead and change into our different costume for a moment. Since we've already shown off quite a few amount of them, though, well, some exceptions, mind you, but hey, on the upside, though, is the fact that we are actually going to be able to, I think we're actually able to actually change into, let's just say a conductor, kind of, suit that we can wear. You know, with the one where you have to do with, like, some musical and all that stuff, which I think actually works quite well for the suit. Well, I'd say it would be, but anyway. So I guess we're ending stuff here. So join me next time for Let's Play Super Mario Odyssey in Luigi's Blue World for the Nintendo Switch. It's that we are now going to be moving on to the Metro Kingdom. So see you guys then. Later, fellas.